What's going on, everybody? It's DA Born with the Blessed Opinion. So, check this out. I did do a video about the book of Clarence before it came out, and I was recommending that, I was saying that I wouldn't go see it, and I was, saying that perhaps maybe you shouldn't go see it either because of, the blasphemous stuff that goes on in the movie. But then again, I had a reply from the video, and one of the replies it said, "This is not a story about Jesus. It's about Clarence and the duality of humans. I encourage you to take a look at James Samuel's interview on the Breakfast Club and any other interviews he and Lakeith Stanfield did about the movie so that you can speak from a place of understanding. Black people have had a bad habit of tearing each other down and often from a place of ignorance. Let's not perpetrate that bad habit. You still may want to see the movie, but at least when you speak on it, it will be from a place of knowledge." All right. I saw that, and I also, the day that the Book of Clarence came out, I went to the website called Plugged In. There's a great Christian website for movie reviews, Plugged In. Go check it out. And they did a review on the Book of Clarence. And to my surprise, it wasn't as terrible as I thought it would be, considering that it's a Christian website. So at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I will check this movie out when it comes on streaming. I'm still not going to support Jay-Z because I know his view on Christianity, so I'm not going to go and give him some money to go see it in the movie theater. And I thought all this was the day of the release of the Book of Clarence. Well, now we get into the Book of Clarence, and this is the second weekend. As of now, it is 13th. 13th. The Book of Clarence is a bust. I don't know what happened, but we're going to get into it. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why the Book of Clarence is a failure. But before I do that, I want to let you know I am a Christian fiction author, and I have this book called Love, Faith, and Hip Hop. This is a great story about a young man coming of age, grew up in the church, but for some reason, he gets this vision that he should bring hip hop to another generation, to a generation that needs to hear what God has to say. But he gets a lot of resistance from his dad, who's a bishop, and the music minister, who wants to take him down, wants to destroy his image. This goes back into the late 80s. It has a retro feel. You're gonna enjoy it. It a lot of nostalgia, a lot of faith, a lot of intense, a lot of drama. It's Love, Faith, and Hip Hop. Go check it out. The description link is below. It is on Amazon. Check it out today. All right, let's get into it. 5 reasons why the Book of Clarence is a failure in the box office. This was a surprise to me. I mean, when I saw the results from opening weekend, because I'm sitting there over the weekend, I'm like, okay, I'm waiting to hear some feedback. I'm waiting to see some Facebook posts about, oh yeah, Book of Clarence is a great movie, or Book of Clarence wasn't a great movie. I was waiting to hear feedback, and I didn't hear much. And then I'm checking later on in the week, and it got ninth on opening weekend. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked because 2 weeks before, week 18 of the NFL season, I'm watching the final weekend of the regular season, and every time they went to commercial, the Book of Clarence trailer was showing. I mean, I saw that trailer must be like 20 times that whole weekend. So I thought, okay, this movie is going to do well, despite what early reviews and stuff has said it's going to do well. So I was shocked that it went 9th. So let's get into it. Let's find out why it went bad, why it did not do well in the box office. Okay? Number 5, bad weather. Remember that opening weekend, man, we had some bad weather across the entire North America. I'm in Canada, but the cold weather was hitting everywhere. Man, when I was seeing pictures of snow in Mississippi and Tennessee and all that stuff, bad weather was hitting all over the place. So obviously when bad weather hits during the weekend, people don't really necessarily want to go to the movie theater. So that could be one main reason why Book of Clarence didn't do that well. Number 4, NFL playoffs. It came out on the weekend of the wild card playoffs. Now, obviously there were a lot of good teams playing. You know, you had Houston, you had Cleveland, you had who else was playing that weekend? Kansas City, Miami. Who else? Who else? Detroit. Whole bunch of teams, big city teams. So if you're a fan of those teams, obviously you're like, I want to watch my team play football, and because the weather's bad too, I ain't gonna see Book of Clarence. No, I'm not gonna go see it. So that's number 4 reason why the Book of Clarence didn't do well. Number 3, early negative feedback. Now this is what some of you are waiting for me to talk about. Yes, the trailer came out in the fall, and there was a lot of negative feedback because, for one, we knew right away that this movie was produced by Jay-Z and directed by James Samuel. We like James Samuel, but Christians hesitate to support Jay-Z because Jay-Z's view on Jesus and Christianity, we all know it's very anti-Christ. So when we saw a biblical looking movie coming out, there were a lot of pushback from many Christian YouTubers, and a lot of people did we saw the symbolism and the abomination and all that stuff and blasphemy, and we saw little things from these little previews. So we obviously weren't getting a good feeling about it because it's produced by Sean Carter and we know his views on Christianity. So that can carry a lot of negative feedback, and what could lead up to a lot of people not going to see the movie. Now, I'm the blessed opinion. I don't have a lot of subscribers compared to like a Marcus Rogers or Isaiah Robin or Nick Jones, who got thousands upon thousands of people. So when they say something, a lot of people do respond. Me, I'm not there yet. So So yeah, I mean, I had a couple of responses, but that's about it. But yeah, so that I blame that. So that's number 3. Number 3, early negative feedback, which leads to number 2. And number 2 is gonna be those who are supporting the Book of Clarence. You're gonna say this is the number 1 reason, but I have it as number 2. Christians didn't go to the movie. Facts. They didn't go to see it. They saw the negative reviews early. They know that Jay-Z is anti-Christ views, and they're like, I'm not gonna go see it. Now, that can hurt you in the box office, because just think about it. Christians go to see a lot of movies. They may not boast about it, but a lot of the Christians go see a lot of movies. How do you think Tyler Perry first set of movies did so well? It's not because they're Christian movies per se, but because he had a Christian following. So he had those cheap movies, and they became big hits because he had Christians go to see the movies. Now you even look at past year where you have Jesus Revolution and Sound of Freedom. Once Christians know that there's it's faith-based, it's got a theme and all that stuff, they go and they support. I mean, Sound of Freedom just made tons of money in the box office, and they got Christian support. So if Christians if they're not gonna go see your movie, it's not gonna get the support it needs. However, okay, so I'm on this tip. I was thinking after I did that Book of Clarence video, I was thinking, okay, so Christians aren't going to go see it, but I think the Jay-Z supporters are going to run to the theater and they're going to go and support this movie. For one, they like James Samuel and they like their boy Jehovah. So they're going to go and see the Book of Clarence and show us Christians that we are in the wrong and this movie's going to be a big hit. All right. It didn't happen. So, what was the number one reason the Book of Clarence did not do well in the box office? It's simple. Jay-Z supporters did not go to see the movie. End of story. You wanted to make a statement, you were supposed to go out and see it. You were supposed to take your book club people, you're supposed to take your friends, you're supposed to support the culture, you're supposed to go out on the weekend and go see the movie and make sure it does really well and say, haha, Christians, you guys are wrong, this is a great movie. You didn't go. You didn't show interest. And for that reason, it's going to be a bust. If you don't make money in opening weekend, you don't expect to make money the second weekend or the third weekend because it eventually doesn't come in the theater after that. It made 3.1 in opening weekend and 9th. Second week, it went 13th, made 1.1 million. The supporters didn't show up. They weren't interested. And I could, you know what? You could say that I kind of blame streaming for this because look, James Samuel, his last big movie was on Netflix and that was a big hit and people watched that movie. Why? It was available right on their HD TV, available to watch at any time. And perhaps that's what you wanted with the Book of Clarence, because if the Book of Clarence was available on Prime or Netflix or one of those streaming services, I'm sure it would have gotten a tons and tons of watching by you, the viewers. I probably would have watched it too. But it wasn't good enough for you to get through the cold weather or to not watch your NFL playoffs to go see, to pay your $15 for your ticket and your $30 for popcorn. It wasn't worth it. You weren't interested. And for that, it is going to be coming to streaming probably sooner than we know because they gonna have to find some kind of way to make up for the $40 million budget that they put in. And usually when you put a budget in to watch a movie, you have to make double that profit. So look, they need to make $80 million to kind of break even it, or to say it's a hit. It's not gonna happen. All right. So I just dropped it there. 5 reasons. So you could blame the Christians not seeing it or their views on the movie all you want, but hey, if Jay-Z supporters aren't gonna watch it, there's no argument. All right. So those are the 5 reasons why the Book of Clarence didn't do well, and I'll watch it whenever I get the chance, whenever it comes on streaming. But I'm not holding my breath or anything like that. All right. Anyway, that's it. I want to hear your comments. Do you agree with my 5 reasons, or do you have another reason why you think the Book of Clarence absolutely bombed in the box office?